Chiaroscuro is basically a cut and shut of two Italian words, chiaro, light, and scuro, dark. So this term is used to describe a way of painting that combines intensely dark areas of shadow with really bright areas of light. The artist most commonly associated with chiaroscuro is undoubtedly Caravaggio. This is his conversion of St. Paul, painted in 1601. And you can see how he uses this polarization of light and dark to create a scene of intense visual drama. The chiaroscuro really accentuates the three-dimensionality of the figures. They seem to emerge out of the shadows and right into our space. There's something distinctly theatrical about Caravaggio's paintings, and I think it's the way that these brightly lit areas act like a spotlight on a dark stage, focusing our attention right in on the main actors, the figure of Paul thrown from his horse, now lying prone on the ground, and the humble figure, perhaps a groom, who is unaware, of course, that the vision is taking place. So he's attending, as you would, to the more practical task of leading the horse safely over the body. But this play of light and shadow isn't just about the human drama. It's also about the spiritual drama. This is the moment when the soldier Saul, a persecutor of Christians, is struck down by a blinding light on the road to Damascus. When his physical sight is miraculously restored 3 days later, he sees the light in spiritual terms. The scales fall from his eyes. He changes his name to Paul, is baptized, and devotes the rest of his life to spreading the Gospels of Christ. So for the Christian viewer, this interplay of visual light and dark is caught up with deeply rooted religious metaphors of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual darkness, goodness and evil, love and hatred. What's really special for me about this painting is that it's still in its original location in Rome, in the Basilica of Santa Maria del Popolo, where it hangs opposite the Crucifixion of St. Peter, also by Caravaggio. And I have a really vivid memory of seeing these works for the first time as a student. It was really dark inside the church, and I could barely see the paintings at all in these shadowy side chapels. But then I figured out that there was this little box where you drop a coin in and a light comes on just for a minute or so. And I remember trying to drink in these paintings before my money ran out. But it made me think about the power of Caravaggio's chiaroscuro in this particular setting. The viewer that these paintings were made for was not an art lover in a gallery, but a worshipper kneeling before an altar. And it wouldn't have been seen by electric light, of course, but by the light of the candles on the altarpiece. And I like to imagine how incredible these paintings would have looked with candlelight flickering across them. Imagine that we're that 17th century worshipper kneeling in front of this image in the dark and silent interiors of the basilica. And that's what I find fascinating about visual techniques like chiaroscuro, the way that the really great artists use them. Caravaggio, painting in the context of worship, uses this interplay of bright illumination and shadow to create a shared space between the painted figures and the viewer, one that is both deeply intimate and profoundly mysterious.